So at this point, we have our big batch of 10 references. Right now, that's not a lot of overwhelming references, but I think my EndNote library right now has probably about 5,000 references in it, which can get kind of overwhelming if you're just looking at them on this main screen. You can always search for the information you want, like if we know we want our articles about residency, you can try doing a quick search, and you see 9 of those 10 that we have downloaded have popped up. Probably everything but the one that we added that isn't at all about residency. Or you can start to create groups. So if you want to group things perhaps by topic, or maybe you group your citations by which paper you're citing them in, you can come up with your own crazy organization scheme. It's all up to you. But if we click groups up here, we'll go ahead and create a group. And so now we'll just go by topic today. We have our residency group. So we can take all of these references, and then it's just a simple drag and drop into the file. So now right here we have our residency group. And the really great thing about EndNote Groups is that citations can be in more than one place. You don't have to choose one file location and then stick with that. So we could do groups, create group. Maybe this is for our case report poster, whatever project we're working on. Then maybe we can go back to all of our references and say we're using these top 3. So then we can drag those into our case report. So now we have this small batch of references, but those references still also exist here in this main residency batch. Does that kind of make sense? Awesome. All right, we will try a couple other databases to download things from. So library again. I'll go back to the library resources 4. Let's see. Let's try Web of Science. That one looks a little different. So Web of Science, we can continue our residency search. And sometimes perhaps you want to download all of your search results. Maybe you're working on a systematic review or a big lit review and you want all of your searches from, or all of your citations from a specific search. We can actually select this whole page here. So now we have all 10 of the references that are showing up. And then we can actually go up to our marked list, which is where things that we save go in Web of Science. And now you see we have these 10 records from Web of Science down here. Right here you can see what information we're downloading. So if we want to include the abstract in our download, we can add that. If you wanted any of the other information, you could do that as well. And then you get to choose over here where we want to save these to. So you see right now it's saving to Endnote Online, which Endnote does have an online web-based version of Endnote. It's not quite as powerful as the desktop version, so I always recommend using the desktop version, especially since we have access to download it from OU. But Endnote Online is free, so if you're ever in the future downloading things, you can always add them to your online library. But we'll go ahead and do desktop. It's saving those references for us. And then we can download that batch. So now we have those 10 references that we just saw on that home page. So again, maybe we would know automatically these are our residency batch, so we'll go ahead and add them here. Another really great thing about Endnote is, say we're downloading a lot of references from multiple databases, Endnote will get rid of the duplicates for you. So maybe you repeated the same search in, say, PubMed and Web of Science. There's probably a fair chance that there's a lot of overlap there. We don't have to worry about doing that ourselves. We can actually go up to References, and if you scroll down to the bottom, there's this little Find Duplicates button. So if we do that now, apparently there are no duplicates in this batch, but say we go back to Chrome, we can resend that batch of files, and we could add these to that residency group again, which I don't know why you'd really download them twice in real life, but for this example, now if we do References, Find Duplicates, it gives us both versions of the article. So you say we downloaded these from 2 different databases, you can actually check out on each one what information we received. So maybe one download included an abstract and the other one didn't. You at this point can choose which record you want to keep. But since these were all from the same database, it doesn't really matter which record we're keeping. We'll still get all of that good information. And it goes and does this for every single duplicate that's found. So now again, we're back down to that 19 original result set. Well, you are an overachiever, Sam. That's okay. It's all good. So we'll do Google Scholar as well, because it takes one extra step to download things from Google Scholar. But scholar.google.com. So if actually in Google Scholar, if you go up to settings, you can choose here if you want an option for Bibliography Manager. So you can show links to import citations into, and then you get options here. So you just want to switch to Endnote since that's the software we're using. And then click Save. And so now if we do a search for residency, you now at the bottom have this little option to import into Endnote. And unfortunately, you do have to do these imports one at a time, which is a little more time consuming than some of the other databases, but it's still really great to know that even the results you find in Google Scholar you can get in your Endnote. So we'll just click Import. And then if you open that, we have this new citation that we can add to our batch. So does downloading references make sense so far? Okay, and again, you're just always looking for different terminology. So save, send, import, export. I think those are pretty much the only ones I've seen used, but who knows? There could be another crazy database out there using something else.